Shalom Aleichem Rabbi Sai. Welcome to the fifth Shiur on Perek, Hagozel, Eitzim. So we left off last week in the rush, and we were working on. We had asked on the rush all the way in the beginning, how could the Degzaln be kind of the goof of the para? Haloi, nothing's changed about the para itself. So we said, according to Rush, the ikar part of the Shinoi is that there's a physical change in the object. And the fact that it has to be Eitzim Vasan Kalim, that's just an Indian of Hakara. As long as there's something in existence for us to say, oh, because this is in existence, when I return this cow, it's not exactly the way I took it, because it's not the same Ibor. I can become pregnant again, but it's not the same Ibor, because I see that Ibor turns into Vlad, and it's right there. As long as I have that Hakara, as long as I have that Davar that's Misyaches to the Shinoi that happens, therefore it is not a Kiyum of the Heshefes Gazela Hagozel, because you can't say that this para is exactly the same para that you took, because it doesn't have the same guf. It doesn't have the same contents of the guf. It's a gufa sreika now, and I know because that kef is in existence that's misyaches to the para that it was once malia, that it was once full. Masha'en Kain, according to Rashi, the ikar is that there is a change in the guf of the object that is readily recognizable to anybody that passes by. Never mind that there's this Vlad, that if somebody knew was pregnant with this Vlad, then they could trace it back to the original cow and say, hey, that's not the cow that you returned. That's not the ikar here. The ikar here is the object that you stole recognizably different than now than it was when you stole it? And the answer to that is no. So according to Rashi, you're not kind of the goof of the part. So we were still left with a couple of kashas on the rush. First kasha being the lashon of the Mishnah. It says Dmei para medes lioled. Well, the Rush explicitly says that we go all the way back to Shas Gazela. So why would the Mishnah tell me Dmei para medes lioled if it means Dmei para milberes? Should have said it should have been medaktik in its lashon, and says it goes all the way back to the Shas Gazela. And then the second question we really had was, according to the Rush, that the ikar is that there's a physical change. So what's the difference between me stealing boards and I stole Nasarim, they're ready to be used, and I shave off a quarter inch or a half an inch of wood on it. It's still Nasarim. It still can be used for the same purpose, and very few people would walk by this board and say it's any different. But the fact that there's shearings on the ground, it's misyaches to the change in the Nasarim. So why wouldn't that be kind of also? And the Mishnah says, Gazel Eitzim Vasan Kalim. It has to be Kalim. It has to be a Shinoi Hashem. Okay, so let's look, now that we have those kashas straightened out, let's look back at the rush here. Okay, so where did we leave off? The Rosh was explaining what's the difference between Tavra and Shasya that you pay Shasa Modabedin, and Tlev and Nasa Ayil and Paramu Beres, that you go all the way back to Shas Gazela. Okay. Okay, so continues the rush. V'hu hadin gazal para v'nisabra itzlo v'yolda. Afilu lo yolda nami mishalim k'shas gzela. V'lo kamoisha haisa shava b'shas Shinui. Midi dahave agazal tele v'gazal izman meruba ad shenasa ayo. Remember back to Daf Samachay, the case of Rabbi Elah. The case of Rabbi Elah is as follows. A guy steals a calf and becomes a shar. So Rabbi Elah says that you're not chayiv in the tashlume dalad behe. You don't have to pay 4 and 5 times the amount of the value, because when he shechted it was already his, meaning the change from a telen to an aisle or egel into a shar was enough to effectuate a kinyan, and therefore he's not chayiv in dalad vehe, only kefin. Okay. So what's the sushtel here? Ze'ilu ba nigzal v'haitzio miyad hagazlan koidem shenasa ayil hayaloikeach be'imaso kamoshehi ula'achar shenasa ayil mishalim k'shas hagzela v'hachi amrinin l'kaman kol hagazlanim mishalmim k'shas hagzela lasuye de Rebbe Eloi the gun of Telev and Nasa ayil. Okay, so what's the rush saying? That the third case of the Mishnah is similar to Telev and Nasa ayil in that you pay Kishasa Shinoi even though up until it becomes an ayil, the nigzal could go ahead and take his behema back. And the Rush brings a riot to that. V'hachi amrin l'kaman kol hagazlan mishamim k'shas gzela l'suye de Rebbe Eloi the gun of Telev and Nasa ayil. Okay. So let's look at the Gemara. The Gemara here is on Samech Vav Amid Beis. Okay, and it says Zeh Klal Kol Gazlan Misham Kshas Gzela Lasuye Mai. What is Zeh Klal coming to include? Lasuye Hada Amid Rabbi Elah Gun of Telev Nasa ayil Egel v'nasa shar, nasa shini biyodo v'kano, tovach u'machar shalayu tevech shalayu meicher. Okay. So there's a yitur in the Mishnah, or there's a riboy in Mishnah of zeh haklal. Zeh haklal always comes to include something. So the Gemara says what it's coming to include here, the fourth case of the Mishnah is Rabbi Elah. That says that Telev and Nasa ayil Shalayu tevech shalayu meicher. So, Pashtas, when you read the Gemara, our Mishnah is talking about Keren. It's talking about the principal value. When you take Eitzim and you make Kalim out of it, you have to pay the Dmei Eitzim. We're not talking about Kefo, we're not talking about Dal Vehe. So, when the Gemara says, Zeh akal kol gazlan misham mishas gzela, l'chayra, that's talking about the Karen. And if that's true, and the case of Rabbi Elah is misham kshas gzela, the din by that is kol gazlan misham kshas gzela. Then we have a bam raya to the Rush and a bam kasha on Rashi. Remember back on Samech Amud Beis, if you looked at the Mar Mekomis, there's Rashi here, Ke'ein Shaganav. If you look towards the ends of it, it says, the Hochmas Nisa Kefal V'dalet Hey Dafka Noka. Aval Karen Heicho De Ishkach Ki Hashta Mishal. Rashi says mefurish that by Tlev and Nasa Ayil, that you pay Kidahasha, Karen Kidahasha. So the Rush has a bomb rye against Rashi here. It says mefurish in the Gemara Kol Gazlan Misham Kshas Gazela, and that applies to the case of Tlev Nasa Ayil. Okay. Kasha number 1 on Rashi. Sagt der Rash weiter, V'chein Perish Rabbeinu Tam lekaman, b'd Rebbe Yehuda aliva de Reb Zvid, de Shevach de al gabe Gazela havi de Nigzal, v'achar shegazal havi de Gazlan, v'eina mishalem elo ke'ein shegazal, v'oid. Okay, alright, so if we looked over in the Gemara, I was mitzayin the Gemara over here, on Daf Samech Hey Amid Beis. So, as a machlokes, three-way machlokes, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Meir, and Rabbi Shimon. Just give you some background here. And Rabbi Yehuda says, Rabbi Yehuda אומר Gazela Chayzeres Be'ene. Rabbi Shimon אומר Rai Na'isa Ki'ilu Yeshuma Itzlo B'Kesef. So we're talking about our Mishnah, and we're saying that Rabbi Yehuda says Gazela Chayzeres Be'ene. So we're trying to figure out what does Rabbi Yehuda mean by Gazela Chayzeres Be'ene, and what does Rabbi Shimon mean by Rai Na'isa Ki'ilu Yeshuma Itzlo B'Kesef. So Zakta Gemara Mai Beinayu, what's the nafkamina? Amar Rav Zvid b'shevach she'al gabe Gazela kamiflagi. What does this mean? Let's say a guy steals a cow, and it's skinny at the time that he stole it, and he fed it well, and he was tareach to take care of the cow. And now it's 50 pounds heavier. So that's shevach she'al gabe Gazela, when there's a increase in value inherent to the object that was stolen over and above what was stolen. So it's not something that happens due to market forces. It's an actual improvement in the Gazlan does some sort of improvement in the item that was stolen. So Rabbi Yehuda suffered the Nigzal have it. Rabbi Yehuda says, in such a case, what does it mean, Gazela Chayzeres Be'ene? That even though it became, let's say it's a cow, it became fatter, it still goes back to the Nigzal. Rabbi Shimon suffered the Gazlan have it. And Rabbi Shimon, that says, Ki'ilu Raini, Ki'ilu Hishuma, Itzlo B'Kesef, the Gazlan, he returns the cow, and the Nigzal has to pay the Gazlan the value of that Shevach. Rav Papa Omar, de Kule Alma Shevach Shal Gabe Gzela de Gazlan have. So Rabbi Yehuda says, and this is how we paskan halacha, everybody holds, even Rabbi Yehuda holds Shevach Shal Gabe Gzela, that Shevach belongs to the Gazlan. V'hachal lemechza l'shlish l'riva kamiflagi. Rabbi Yehuda Savar Shevach Shal Gabe Gzela Kula de Gazlan have. Rabbi Yehuda holds that all the Shevach belongs to the Gazlan. Rabbi Shimon Savar Lemechza L'Shlish L'Riva Hu de Shakol Gazlan. And Rabbi Shimon holds that the Gazlan only gets a portion of that Shevach. Okay. So, what are we saying here? That how does this flow into the Rush? So this fits into the Rosh Azeh. The pshat in Rav Zvid and Rav Papa both agree, Kuli Alma is Maida, that Achar Shagazza, after he takes the Rachel and he gives, after he takes the Para and he gives birth, after he takes the sheep and he guises it, for sure, I'll leave it to Kuli Alma. That Shevach belongs to Gazlan because he's kinda through a Shina. Okay? And only after he's geizes, only after there's a Vlad, that's when it belongs to the Gazlan, according to Rav Zvid in Rav Yehuda. Okay? If you're going to say that, then Telev and Na'asa Ayil makes absolutely no sense, according to Rashi. Why would I pay Kidahashta? Why would the Gazlan pay Karen Kidahashta? Haloi, an ayil becoming an ayil is a shevach sha'al gabe ha-gazela. It's an improvement in the condition of the gazela. And Rashi paskins that the Gazlan pays Kidahashta. Well, according to Rabbi Yehuda, Shevach Sha'al Gabe Gazela only belongs to the Gazlan La'achar Shagazaza. And according to Rav Papa, it's even worse. Because according to Rav Papa, even without the Geziza, the Gazlan is kinda the Shevach. So now we have two bomb kashas on Rashi. Sagt der Rash weiter. V'oid, ilu basa leimer de mishalem koidem leida v'giza, mishum de medami leila chavisa de chamra. If you're going to make Rashi sustel to chavisa de chamra, Hateinach gaziza to have a ketav roshasya. I understand, says the Rosh, such a din by Gziza, where it's almost like he destroyed it. He removed it from the sheep, and he did a maisa leda to memela. But Leda, when the cow gives birth, that happens automatically. Ma ikla meimar. What's the Rosh's kasha here? If you're going to tell me that the Maisa Gzela is over the Vlad, and that's why you pay Rega Echa before the Leda, there's no Maisa Gazela. He didn't do anything. There was never a Vlad in the Rishus of the Nigzal that he stole. He never did a Maisa Gazela. He never took the object into his Rishus. Elevada in l'dmusam l'chavis l'chamra mitayim and deprecious. Okay. So right now we have three kashas on Rashi. Let's finish up the Rosh, and then we'll go back to how Rashi holds. Okay. V'ata Kammah demei para emedes liyaled v'demei rachel emedes ligazes. V'lo Kammah demei para mu beres v'demei rachel tu'una. So the Rosh actually asks our kasha on himself. So why does it say Demei Para Medas Liali? Okay. So Mishum Dilafamim Adam Kaina Paramu Beres L'Shchita B'Shvil HaShlil. Chen Rachel Tu'una B'Shvil HaGizo Shaleh. So there are times when a person is kaina the pregnant para for the extra benefit that the uber is with it, like it's a fatter cow. Chen Rachel Tu'una B'Shvil HaGizo Shaleh. Person buys the Rachel, it doesn't really, value the sheep itself. He's looking to get back he's looking to get the Giza. Ve'ein d'mei merubim k'dmei para she'adam kaina mu'beres l'gadol vlad. He's not looking to grow the vlad into something else. He's not looking to get more Giza. So he doesn't pay as much for it. V'zeh Hagazlan shehisha etzlo ad sheyolda v'gazza tzarich l'shalim damim merubim. So you can't pay the cheaper price. You have to pay like a person who would have bought this cow in order to raise the vlad, not somebody who's looking for a fatter cow and is going to discard the uber or get rid of the sheep once he has the giza. Okay. I'd like to propose an alternative teretz. I'm not exactly sure why the Rosh didn't see to say this one, but second teretz I had was since now the par has actually been given birth to, and there was no complications pregnancy, the par made it out, the vlad made it out. Mishalim demei para imedes liyoled. Imedes, it's muftach. He has to pay not the value of a para mu'beres that may or may not give birth. He has to pay demei para mu'beres, the value of the uber and the para, as if it's guaranteed that it's going to give birth. So even though he doesn't pay the full value of the uber rega echad before the leda, there's still an improvement in value over and top a regular paramuberes, because you know it's going to give birth. It's going to be no complications. Vitzarchi, and why I didn't give this teretz. Okay. All right. So we had 3 different kashas on Rashi. The third kasha was Hatinach Gaza Davi Kataver Shasia Leda de Memela Ma'ikalamim. So once again, Rashi Lishitaso that holds you don't necessarily need a Maisa over the stolen object. What you need is a change that object is no longer recognizable and cannot be returned. So it doesn't matter that he did a mice or not. The fact is this object can no longer be returned, and that's really what we're focusing on. So we're saying that it's not begeder v'heshev. So we're really left with two kashas on Rashi. One, kol gazlan misham kshas gzela, and shevach shal gabe gzela degazlin habe. So we know that the Gemara says, what is the הכלל coming to include? It's coming to include the case of Rabbi Law. Masra, that's talking about the Karen. But Rashi says you pay Karen Kitahashta, not Kain Shaganav. And we also brought from Shevach Shal Gabe Gzela, that by Tleb and Na'asa Ayil, you should not pay Kitahashta. Why? Because we paskin like Rev Papa, that Shevach Shal Gabe Gzela Degazlin have. Okay. So, if we want to take a look here, over at the Pnei Yeshua. And there's a Pnei Yeshua over, I was Mesayim the Ma'amar Komos. And it's over on Daf Samachay Amid Beis on the Dibur Maskal Na'asa Shina Biado V'Kano. So he quotes Rashi, Karen Heicha de Ishkach Meshalim Ki Hashta V'lo Yadati Ma Ra'a Rashi Lefarish Kain De L'chayra Nira Da'afilu Karen Nami Lo Meshalim Ela Ke'ein Shaganav. Why would you tell me that you pay Karen Ka'ashta, you only pay Ke'ein Shaganav? V'lo Yadame Diraba Legabe Tavra Oidishasya Deshini Hacha Dekano Beshinoi. V'chein mashma lehedya beperek Hagozel damrin hasan kol hagazlan misham kshas gzela asu yehod de Rabbi Eloi. Mashma tilin Karen Iri. So the Pnei Yeshua asks the Rosh's kasha on Rashi over there. And then continues. The Ivra Dimiloshin Rashi Perek Hagozel Nami Mashma Kipirusha Kan Eladi Gufa Kasha. I don't understand how Rashi could explain this way. Venira Dimashma Rashi Kivan to Bekihai Gavna Shinoi Haba Me'elavhu Vagazlon Loi Shina Ba Midi Loi Mistaber Shie Choite Niskar V'loi dami l'shar shinoi ma'isa sha'agazlan gufe asa hashinoi Hashem. So the Pnei Yeshua brings a possible answer, and he says that where the Gazlan didn't do anything, Rashi holds a svara outside that the Torah wouldn't allow a Gazlan to profit when he doesn't do anything. Hatenach where Gazel Eitzim v'asan kelim. But where he doesn't do anything, why would the Torah make a din that the Gazlan could profit? Lo yitochen she'ei chayten v'niskar. Okay? But we know that it's a little bit daichak. And so says the Pnei Yeshua himself. So what does he say? So he says it's daichek because ubarmin dein kashali dafilu laman desfirle deshinoi ki agavna ena kaina. Even according to the shitas, there are shitas we'll learn later on in the Gemara that shinoi is not kaina. Hainu she'en kaina gufa behema. He's not kaina the guf of the behema. אבל מכל מקום השבח גופי ודאי דגזלן הווה. והקיימלון בפרק הגזילה כרב פאפה אליבא דרבי יהודה, דשבח שעל גבי גזילה אף על גב דעשי ממילא כגון פרה ונסברה אצלו, רחל וניתנה אצלו, אפילו הכי נוטל הגזלן הגיזויס והוולדויס, אפילו הם באין. ובזה הסכימו כל הפוסקים. והטעם אם משום תקנת השבים, אם משום תקני בשינוי. So it says the Pnei Yeshua, even if you'll tell me that Shinui is not koinen, still here the Shevach by Tlev and Nasa Ayel belongs to the Gazlan. Even if there wasn't a Shinui. Because Shevach shal gabe Hagazlan, Shevach shal gabe Gzela, the Gazlan havo, you paskin like Rav Papa that holds that if there's an improvement in the object from the time that it's stolen, that Shevach, that profit, belongs to the Gazlan. So he says, how could Rashi say that you pay Kishas Amad B'din? Then you're taking the profit of the Gazlan. So he says, "Vim kein achinami betlev nasa ayil. Amay yesh lo l'shalim kedahasha v'lo yamrina d'shevach shal gabi gzela kazeh havi degazlan." So I want you guys to skip a little bit by the Rambam, and go to the V'oidiyeh Shloimer. V'oidiyeh Shloimer d'shayni gizois v'vladois kivan delav gufe de paraninu. So Pnei Yeshua brings a chilak between Gazal, para v'nisabreitzlo, and tlev nasa. What is that? That gizois and vladois, because they are not part of the para. Uksha gazlan noitlam nishar gzela k'moisha gazla. Lekach shakaluhu hagazlan. That is the reason that the Gazlan takes it. Aval b'tlev v'nasa ayil hakol mikre guf hageneva. There's nothing separate from the object that he stole. It's a tle, now it's an ayil, but it's the same animal. Lo shayach gazlan b'hai shevach klal. How could you say that that is shevach? It's not shayach to the gazlan. Dahaim. When you have a skinny cow, you steal a skinny cow, and you fatten it up, you are shayach to that shevach. You did something to be mashbiach, to increase the value or the physical status of the object that you stole. By the vlad and the gizois, it's no longer a part of the guf of the para, and the para can be returned. So that's why it's shaykh there to kanas l'shavim that we keep that we hold that by the Gazlan. But by tlev nasa ayil, neither reason applies to tlev nasa ayil. The shevach still inherently part of the guf of the para. And he didn't do anything to make it that way, to make it more profitable. So, says Rashi, in such a case, there is no such thing as takanas lashavim there. Because the Gazlan is not losing out on anything. So, kach nira das of the Rush and kach nira das of Rashi. Be'ezar Hashem, next week we will continue and hopefully see some of the Gemara. Shkayach, and I will see you next week.